Hello, everybody. Welcome to the podcast. I am Jeremy Birmingham. This is another episode of Birminology. Today, we are talking with Aaron Scott from Springfield, Ohio, one of the country's top-ranked cornerbacks in the class of 2024 and a major priority for the Buckeyes in that recruiting cycle. Enough of me. Let's bring on Aaron Scott and let you get to know him here on Birminology. As mentioned, Aaron Scott, Springfield, Ohio, joins us now. Aaron, good season for you, junior season at Springfield. How did you feel this year went for you? And, I know that the season ended last week, and how have you been just dealing with that?
I feel like it was a great season other than losing state. Because we went to state last year. I feel like we was right there. But I feel like next year is my last year. So got to win it next year.
That is an incredibly difficult thing to deal with, losing a state championship game, and to have to deal with that as you've had to do as a young guy. As a leader on your team, how do you feel like you can help bring that focus back and make sure that that doesn't happen again?
I feel like on the field, I feel like everybody played after me. Like they see what I'm doing. They see me playing bad, don't affect their game. They see me doing good. I just feel like I just want to motivate them to do what they need to do and just show them that we got to handle business on the field.
Springfield, you guys have become one of the state's most talented programs. A lot of big time players in the Dayton area. As a kid in Ohio, growing up watching Ohio football, you're right in that sweet spot in the state. How cool is it to just get to go out there on Friday nights and represent your hometown and your high school in front of people?
It's a blessing because our school usually don't be winning like that. But now, like these past couple of years with Coach Doug, we've been on the road, back-to-back state runner-ups. It's a blessing. Putting on for the city. That's why we always preach, talking about playing for it with your why and all that. It's for the city.
Has it given you an opportunity? That what is your why question is something that a lot of guys take a little bit longer to figure out. A lot of times that's something that you'll hear in the recruiting process as you start to sort out your options. You have a lot of them. What is that why for you? Have you been able to really pinpoint that?
I feel like mine's my mother. Like she's still going to work. When I'm asleep, she's at work. When I'm home, she's at work. She's working a lot. I feel like on the field, when I'm guarding you see that I'm trying to feed my family just like you. So I feel like if I let you cut a pass, you feeding your family, I'm not gonna let you get in the way of feeding my family.
I went down and saw you play against Wayne in late September, and you had a pick in that game, and another just kind of one of those performances that people see you on the field. And sometimes, I think most of your like scouting profiles list you at like 6'1", 160 or something. You got a lot of body to fill out still. How have you taken it upon yourself to really turn the corner, literally and figuratively as a cornerback, but to become one of the top players, not just in your region and in your hometown, but now in the country?
I feel like it was on my coach. At first, I played quarterback my whole life. And we had a great quarterback, Tayshawn Smoot, my freshman year coming in. And he told me and he was here my sophomore year. He told me to try corner out, see what I could do. Cause I was long, athletic, and I love to be physical. And I just rock with it over the summer. Was grinding, was lifting, just putting in work, and then showed the next season.
Where do you want to be weight-wise as you head into the senior year? Are you starting to think ahead? What are you doing to change that? You just eating 15 peanut butter sandwiches a day? What is your what's your approach?
I'm actually 170 right now. Last time I got weighed a couple days ago. I'm trying to be at least 180, put on some weight. I wasn't gonna play basketball or just focus on lifting, but I'm gonna do like both for real, and then run track, and I'm gonna still be lifting like after practices and stuff. I'm trying to at least gain like 10 more pounds at least.
Yeah, that's not easy to do when you're constantly running and you're 16 years old and you're not really having a chance to sit down and eat 6 meals a day like you should be if you're trying to gain the weight. But, speaking of things that aren't easy, the recruiting process is now back in full swing. It's a contact period. Coaches are able to stop by and stop into Springfield and see you and your teammates. Has it hit you yet, really, like that you have all these opportunities in front of you? I know you tweeted on Wednesday of this week or last week that your recruitment is wide open. You're still interested in hearing from anyone that it's out there. But have you really been able to absorb the the uniqueness of what you get to go through?
Yeah, I talk about it all the time with my friends that like don't go. I remember like we was talking about it how like last year around this time I ain't had no offers. I was just still hoping. And to being in the position I am, very blessed and grateful. And I'm just I made that point like cause I'm like I know how I feel not to have no offers and stuff. So I want to get every school opportunity and really find a home, not just based off of who's talking to me right now and all that.
Obviously, Ohio State is one of those schools. The Buckeyes offered you over the summer after a camp performance in Columbus. Did you feel better about getting an offer at camp than you would have based on just film, like knowing that you walked into the building and walked out and earned it?
Yeah, of course. That's what Coach Dave preached on too. I had to earn it. Had to show them in front of not just the film. They got to see it in person, see what I could do. Yeah, I feel like that. I feel like that way better to get an offer in person. Cause now just based off film, it's based off what they seeing and really knowing if they really like you or not.
Since that offer happened, obviously that happened in June. They couldn't really talk to you until September 1st. And now at that point, all bets are off and anyone can hit you up as much as possible. I know your phone probably goes crazy every day. I hope you do appreciate that I don't ever really try to talk to you, but like once every 3 months. I hope you do appreciate that. But,
That's cool.
how is the relationship now with Ohio State, with Tim Walton, with Ryan Day? How do you feel that has progressed? I mean, are you happy with where it is?
Yeah, of course. I feel like I talked to them. I talked to Coach Walton like almost every other couple of days, and they go on the phone with Coach Day on FaceTime here and there too a lot. I talk to them a lot. They check up on me, text me before my games, talk to me after the games, after their games. It's very, very close relationship with them.
As a kid who grew up in Ohio, did you ever like imagine you'd have the head coach of Ohio State football calling you?
Nah, not at all. I ain't never. I used to always talk about how I want to offer. I ain't never thought it was going to come true, but it's here now. But yeah, when I was younger, I ain't never see it, but now it's here. I'm grateful.
You guys, your area, you've been developing big time cornerbacks for a long time. One of them is committed to Ohio State in the class of 2023 and Jermaine Matthews. Up in Cleveland, you have Bryce West, who, like yourself, is a very highly touted, very highly coveted recruit in the class of 2024. I think Ohio State's made it clear to you and Bryce that you guys, they want you both. You are the cornerstones of that class defensively in their mind. How much conversation have you guys had about, the possibility of teaming up, and what would it mean to know that there's a guy from Ohio going through all this same stuff with you?
We talked about it a little bit. I talked to Jermaine. He was talking to me all the time, talking about coming up there, and best in America. Kids from Ohio to go out of state. Not too many that could say they could do that, but that would definitely be fun to play with some kids. That's from your state.
No, it is an interesting world we're living in right now in the recruiting space. Everything has changed pretty significantly in the last few years with name, image, and likeness and all the other stuff that's come about. How much do you allow yourself to think about that at this point? Or is it silly to worry about that? And are you more focused on just relationships first? Because it seems like looking around the country, there is a fairly large segment of recruits who have sort of put the relationship stuff on the back burner and looked for the NIL stuff. And I'm just wondering how you feel like you're balancing that.
I feel like the money that come. Like my goal is to get to the NFL. I feel like having a relationship, it betters you for when you get there. Like the coach is gonna mess with you more, try to work with you more. Like you can know, I want to know like I could trust you. And you really try to help me and not just use me for real. But I feel like State, I feel like we got a close relationship, and if I went there, I would be in good hands.
You had a chance to work with Tim Walton this summer, before most people had ever seen him work with anyone at Ohio State, because he is in his first year there. What did you like about him as a coach, as a technician, as he was working with you at camp?
I feel like he's very energetic. He can do the drills with you. He'll walk you through it. I feel like his energy, a lot of energy, height, turn. That's what I love about them. And they're gonna get on you. They're not gonna just let you just slack around. They're gonna let you know the real, and they're gonna give you energy too. So that's what you need to bring with them.
For guys in your position, the next couple months are generally among the more important as you head into January, February. You'll probably take a couple visits and see a couple schools. Other than Ohio State, where you were at the end of November when they hosted Michigan, where else do you plan on visiting, and what schools are you hoping to get a chance to look at before you really start to narrow down a choice?
Probably like Penn State, Tennessee, and Oklahoma. Them are the other three schools I think I will be visiting here soon. But I know there's gonna be other schools out there, but there's no three that talk to me and Notre Dame. Them the four that really talk to me outside of O State the most right now.
Do you feel at times, and this is why I brought up that tweet that you tweeted out about, open to everyone. Sometimes I think for Ohio kids, there's a belief around the country that, oh, he's definitely going to Ohio State, let's not waste our time. Is that something you feel like you have to fight through?
Yeah, that's exactly why I made that post. I want everybody to just expect me to go there just based on because I'm from Ohio. I'm going wherever most love is at. But right now, Ohio State they is showing love, but I won't let it be known. You feel me? That could change.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a weird catch-22 for kids in Ohio, because if Ohio State doesn't show you a lot of love early, then you see some kids around the state saying, oh, Ohio State doesn't care about us. And then on the other side, it's like, if Ohio State shows you love early, you may not get some of the attention and the accolades and the rankings that maybe you would otherwise, because the rankings and stuff end up being used a lot of times as a way to drive interest to websites as opposed to based on what they actually see on the field. So it's sort of this weird catch-22, but
I feel like the kids that say that, they just, I don't know. I feel like they think they should have it because they're from Ohio. Like when I got the offer, I wasn't thinking like I'm from Ohio. I shot him and get the offer. I'm like, I'm gonna have to work for all mine, just like how everybody else do from Florida and everywhere else.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is not as easy to sort out as just saying, oh, I didn't feel it, so they don't care about Ohio. But I think it is a weird position they find themselves in, because you can't really offer someone in the state and then offer them early, and then if they don't develop, then you don't want to take them, and then all of a sudden it's bad. So like it's a weird spot.
Yeah.
That's a totally different tangent. But have you started to really plot out the path from here, Aaron? Like what do you want to decide? What is important to you as far as the pros and cons list, other than just, feeling love? Like, what do you have to see from a school to know that, hey, that's the spot for me?
I feel like I want to work with the coaches, like all the coaches again. Like I want to like not just visit, but like do some practices, like for me, just see how they coach to know if it's the type of coach I would want to play for. And I feel like a lot of the defenses, my decision would be based on like the defense. I like to play a lot of man, like a zone team for real. I feel like I fit in like man to man, blitz a lot, like that type of defense. Like O State, they do that a lot.
Do you have plans to get back to campus for one of their bowl practices or anything like that?
Yeah, I'm supposed to be going next Saturday.
No, I think it's weird. And I'm talking to you, so I guess I'll just ask you this question. Like, as a recruit, as a highly ranked kid, you watched Ohio State at their worst moment of the year as they sort of didn't do the job in the second half against Michigan. But you get to then see their coaches a couple of days later when they show up in your high school. Is it visible? Can you see like how it affects them? And does it change the way that they handle anything with you?
Nah, I don't think so. I feel like it's all the same, honestly. I feel like that game, it was just one of them games. I feel like, my opinion, I think if they played them again, they would beat them. But I feel like the running back being hurt and the other wide receiver being hurt them a lot.
Yeah, it's a weird. I'm often curious as to how it's one of the things that fans generally ask more than anything. How does a recruit being on a visit at a game that the team loses, does it change the way the visit feels? Does it change the way that you enjoyed your time? And that's, I guess, what I'm trying to wonder.
No, I feel like a good game is a good game. If they got like, I know that they got beat by like a lot for real, but it happened at the end. But because I think it was a good game. I enjoyed watching it.
When you're watching a game like that, and you said you're watching the corners and you're seeing how they operate, seeing what they do, what do you key in on? Are you looking at technique? Are you looking at scheme? Like which thing is more important to you?
Yeah, I'm looking at technique. I'm watching their feet, their hands. I got my phone out watching my stuff while watching them at the same time, trying to see what they're doing to compare it to what I'm doing.
When do you want to commit? When do you want this over with?
June, like before I know for sure before my senior football season starts. But
Do
I
you
think
feel
sometime in June, after my official visit, I think I'm gonna take a couple official visits and then commit. Probably late June though.
late June, early July?
Yeah.
What do you have to do to make sure that you're ready for college physically? What obviously you got to gain some weight. We know that that's the plight of every high school athlete who isn't an offensive lineman or defensive lineman. What do you think that like the biggest area of your game is that you still got to like up to be ready to play in the college game?
Off man. That's all right. We like don't practice. We practice it, but we don't in the game. We man to man like pressing like. But I feel like off man. 'Cause I know I could guard, be in your face and be aggressive, but off man definitely. And that's the most I gotta work on.
Who do you do your work with in the Dayton area? I mean, outside of obviously Coach Douglas over there at Springfield, do you do any sort of extra football work, or are you with basketball and track and everything just a little bit too busy for that?
Dude, with our coaches in the summer, like right now, we lifting right now. If I ask them to go get some football right now, they'll go out. Our defensive corner, that Conley Smoot, and our head coach, Maurice Douglas, Coach Doug, he was in the NFL for a couple years. He know what he's doing. That's what I'll be working out with.
Well, I mean, you definitely have a great program there and a lot of great support around you, and it's clear that a lot of bright things in your future. So I've been waiting. I waited till after your season to try to have you on the show. I told you that when I came down to see you, I was going to reach back out after the season was over, and I really do appreciate you taking time. I hope you have a great holiday, and enjoy these next couple months as you start to narrow down a very difficult decision.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate it. That's Aaron Scott. I'm Jeremy Birmingham. This has been Birminology on the podcast. Thanks for watching, folks. We will see you next time.